Yeah, much better, yeah.
Well, mo kí wa kú àbọ̀ sí orí ètò lónìí o. A dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run tó dá wa sí, tí a tún pàdéra wa ní ayọ̀ àti àlàáfíà. Ìwòyí ìjẹ́jọ́ rèé bí àná. Ètò tèní ó máa yàtọ̀ torí pé àkọ́rí ìsọ̀rọ̀ wa lénìí ó yàtọ̀ sí gbogbo àwọn tí a ti mú wá tẹ́lẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ohun gbogbo, a bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Yoruba National Anthem. Ẹ ṣeun barrister. Èyí tó kàn lẹ́yìn yẹn ni kí fún wa ní montage, directorate montage.
Bá a bímọ nílé olówó oyè ó lè ṣèṣe olówó, bá a bímọ nílé ọlọ́rọ̀ oyè ó lè rìnrìn ọlọ́lá kó rìn yan fanda rìnrìn ọlọ́rọ̀. Ọmọ tá a bá bí ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹ kó mọ tì fún tẹ̀dọ̀ ohun àṣà àtìṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá dẹ́kùndélẹ̀ tó fi mọ́ ìtàn ohun orísun ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àtàwọn bíi tó ṣe é mú yẹn gan tó dùn ún wò nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ wo Ẹ̀rìn Ìjẹ̀ṣà waterfall kẹ́ẹ̀tún wò Kọ́gùsì níbi tómi gbóná àti tútù ti pàdé. Ìdẹ̀rẹ̀ hill nínú odò ń kọ́ àtòkè Olúmọ lẹ́gbàá Aláké. Nání ohun ànílà nání. Ìdí ẹ̀ gan nìyí tí Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate fi gbé ètò kan ràbàǹdẹ̀ kalẹ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta ọjọ́ sátidé fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá láti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kọ́gbọ́n mọ́gbọ́n nípa àṣà ìṣe ìtàn ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ àti òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ nípa Yorùbá tó fi mọ́ ohun tó rọ̀ mọ́ ìjàngbara fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Ẹ ṣáà mọ̀ pé bí olóde ò bá kú ojúdere ò ní wu koríko àìsí níbẹ̀ sì láì bá wọn dá sí wọ́n pín kò kàn mí onítọ̀hún ò yọjú síbẹ̀ ní. Darapọ̀ lórí ìkànnì YouTube ní gbogbo ọjọ́ sátidé ní dédé aago 3 ọ̀sán Nàìjíríà tàbí kó o darapọ̀ lórí Zoom fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ mo fẹ́ darapọ̀ ránṣẹ́ sórí ìkànnì ímeèlì yìí yorubaнаtionglobal.d@gmail.com. Ìkànnì Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate lẹ́yìn tí rí wò lórí YouTube. Oríṣiríṣi àlejò tó jẹ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tó nímọ̀ tó tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ́ ńlẹ́ ọmọ bá pàdé lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ fún ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ohun ọ̀rọ̀ ìyànjú àti ọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìlọsíwájú àti akitiyan gbígba òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Jẹ́ ká jọ pàdé níbi ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta tọ̀sẹ̀ yìí. Kẹ́kù lẹ́gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko pé a kì í fárílẹ́yìn olórí ẹni tó ní nǹkan ó da òní ò ṣe ń bẹ̀. Yorùbá ò ní parun o, Yorùbá ò ní rẹ̀yìn láíláí. Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate lolùkéde.
Whether you fix roofs.
Ẹ Ẹ ṣeun, Yorùbá ò ní rẹ̀yìn láíláí. Kí àwa náà ká rí wípé a fi ọwọ́ a fi rọ́ Yorùbá sẹ́yìn kí Yorùbá má lè rẹ̀yìn. Ṣùgbọ́n tí a bá ṣe bẹ́ni wípé a ò rí gbogbo rògbòdìyàn tó ń lọ bí àwọn Fúlàní bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe àwọn ènìyàn wa bí ẹnu bí ọṣẹ ṣe ń ṣe ojú tí a gbójú sọ́hùn, tí àwọn àgbààgbà tí wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ni wípé àwọn ò rí pé orí ọmọ ti wọ́ nínú ọjà, tí a tẹ̀lé àwọn ìlànà tí ò jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọlúwàbí kí wọ́n máa ṣe nípa orílẹ̀-èdè wọn. Kí Ọlọ́run kí ó gbà wá kó má ṣe jẹ́ kí omi kí ó ti ẹ̀yìn wọ ìgbín lẹ́nu. Mo máa pe arábìnrin wa Bímbọ́lá Markis kí wọ́n wá fún wa ní ìròyìn. Sorry, Abíọ́lá Òtúṣílé, ẹ má bínú, arábìnrin Abíọ́lá Òtúṣílé kí wọ́n fún wa ní ìròyìn ráńpẹ́ káàkiri.
Okay. Ekason, good morning. Greet everyone according to the time of their environment. And this is news update. You are welcome to the 141.
Ẹjọ́ àárín o, àbí mi nìkan ni mi ò rí yín.
Rí mi kẹ̀.
Barrister, ṣé mi nìkan ni mi ò rí wọn? Ó dà pé background nìkan ni mo ń rí.
Mo ń bọ̀. What happened now? Mo wà ń bí now. How about now?
We can't see you. We can only see your background. Bóyá ẹ lo inversion kìíní yẹn.
Oh my God.
Ẹ dẹ̀ lè jáde kẹ́tù wọlé padà.
No, hold on.
There
you are.
Okay, this is well. So I greet everyone according to the time of their environs. So this is news update. You are welcome to the 141 news update of the Yoruba Nation Global Directorate, hereafter called YNGD. The news going around about the reckless attack of our people in Ogun, Osun, and Oyo states by the Fulani is no longer shocking. The Yoruba Nation Global Directorate is bothered that our people are just looking at the scenario with a view that the situation will abate. Now that it has not, we are emboldened, as we have always said, that our people should no longer fold their arms in the face of this festering terrorism. Right to self-defense also applies to every Yoruba citizen. We urge ourselves to do whatever it requires to defend themselves and their properties. Our people are reminded that Omo Akin kì í ṣojo, wọn kì í ṣojo. Our people are urged to apply the ways of our forefathers in their own defenses. Omo Ọba kì í ṣojo. It somewhat appears that Yoruba no longer have elders that could stand for them in the face of adversity. We encourage our people not to fold their arms, but match fist for fist if it comes to that. Yoruba lives matters. A panel of inquiry has been set up by the Chief Justice of Kwara State to look into the abuse of power, judicial process, and partiality tending towards religious fanaticism by a section of the magistracy and upper court in Ilorin Judicial Division. The internet is awash over the continued detention of Abdulaziz Adegbola, aka Tani Olorun, who is being detained because he abused some individuals and the Muslim clerics in Ilorin. The legal practitioners have argued that Tani Olorun detention is illegal and unconstitutional because the alleged offense was committed in Ibadan, and that matter should have been started in Oyo State. They argued further that the magistrates and the judges of the upper area courts in Ilorin detained Tani Olorun because of their religious connection to the complaints. And the Yoruba enjoins the panel to carry out thorough and impartial inquiry and make recommendations accordingly without allowing external influence. YNGD has been reliably informed that Tani Olorun is being detained for so long because of Emir of Ilorin, Sulu Gambari, and the governor of the state, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, have shown partisan interest in the case. The YNGD commends the Chief Justice of Kwara State for setting up the panel. This, for us, appear the right way forward. However, we urge the Chief Justice to ensure that the recommendation of the panel is carried without fear or favor. That is the news update. I remain your humble self, Arábìnrin Abiola Otushile. Odua agbewa o, kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Èmi Abiola Otushile, mi ò ní dalẹ̀ Yorùbá. That's my submission. Thank you for listening.
Ẹ ṣeun sísá wa. Èmi Táíwò Dúmọ̀tì náà mi ò ní dá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Èyí tó tún kàn sí ni mo máa pe Barrister Ògèdèngbé kí wọ́n fún wa ní àwọn tí Dallas, àwọn Yorùbá tún wà ní Dallas nílùú Amẹ́ríkà. Wọ́n ṣe àjọ̀dún ráńpẹ́ tí wọ́n pè ní convention. Wọ́n máa fi inú ẹ̀ wọ́n máa fi hàn wá ráńpẹ́.
Ẹ ṣé Barrister, thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé Yorùbá ní àwa ẹnìkan kì í jẹ́ àwádé. Wọ́n lè ní a kì í fárí lẹ́yìn olórí. Òrùlé bàbá wa ni níbikíbi tí ọmọ Yorùbá. Let me say ọmọ Yorùbá, ọmọ níbi níran, ọmọ Yorùbá òdodo níbi tó bá wà. Yorùbá sọ fún wa wípé àgbájọwọ́ la fi ń sọ̀yà, ọwọ́ kan kò gbẹ́rù dórí. Àdèmọ̀ lẹ́nu àwọn àgbàlagbà wípé ìgbà ọwọ́ alájọṣe ni. Nǹkan tí Barrister fẹ́ sọ ni wípé the Yoruba people in Dallas, United States, they're having a Yoruba convention. Kò sí bí àjọṣe lè dàbí ilé, but ibikíbi tá a bá wà a gbọ́dọ̀ gbé nǹkan tó jẹ́ tiwa ká gbé lárugẹ. Ẹni tó jẹ́ agbódegbà tó jẹ́ kò kárí ìjọ náà ni bàbá wa tí ẹ mọ̀ bí ẹni mowó, Pastor Raphael Adébáyọ̀. He is the president of the Yoruba organization there. And wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe convention. So wọ́n fẹ́ kí eku ilé kó gbọ́ fún kó gbọ́ kó sọ fún toko. Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ wọn pé wọ́n ní tó ṣe bí pé a kì í gbé òkèèrè mọ́dúdú ọbẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa tán wà ní United States, not necessarily in Dallas alone. If you have the opportunity, please go out with full regalia, book your hotel, go there in advance. Support nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ ti Yorùbá. Kẹ́ jẹ́ ká ṣe kí ó ní arìnrìn. Tá bá wo gbogbo àwọn tá bá pàdé ní ìlú òyìnbó níbí, àwọn bóyá Sri Lankas ni wọ́n, àbí Pakistani, àbí Indians. When you see them with their national attire, this is it. This is original. Wọ́n sọ ti nǹkan tó jẹ́ titilé, wọ́n sọ nítorí wọ́n wà nílùú òyìnbó. So irú àwọn nǹkan báyìí ó dá káwa náà ṣe. Ẹni bá ní fìlà gòǹbè, àbètì ajá àti gbogbo àwọn gèlè mèremère tí àwọn ìyá wa tó máa ń wé. Wọ́n ní ewu gèlè yáyá lórí ayíbọ̀tọ̀kọ. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa wé gèlè náà lọ́jọ́ yẹn, kẹ́ bá wa support wọn. Ó jẹ́ ohun tó jẹ́ wípé ó máa jẹ́ turn around. As you know, some states in the United States have recognized the Yoruba language ní ọ̀dọ̀ wọn. So iwájú báyìí ni ọ̀pọ̀ ibi tí wọ́n máa rí sí. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó lọ sẹ́yìn. Let me just show you the video sent to me for the promotion of the event. Sorry. Ẹ má bínú. Okay, I got it.
Ẹ ṣeun barrister. Ẹ ṣeun. Ẹ ṣe. Ètò tí ọpọ́ tún kàn ní appeal for funds. Màá fẹ́ pe àwọn bàbá wa Apostle Raphael Adébáyọ̀ tí wọ́n bá wà nílé kí wọ́n bá wa ṣe appeal for fund. Tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ sí nílé, màá pe arábìnrin Òtúnṣílé kí wọ́n bá wa ṣe appeal for fund lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ó dà pé àwọn bàbá ò tíì dé. So Mrs. Òtúnṣílé, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa ṣe appeal for fund.
Okay, sir. Ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ kú déédé àsìkò ibikíbi tí gbogbo wa bá ti ń wo Yoruba Nation Global Directorate. A tún ti dé bá a ti máa ń dé láti wá rọ̀ wá, láti wá pàrọwà pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́, owó ni kẹ̀kẹ́ ìrere o, bí àwọn onígbàgbọ́ ṣe máa ń sọ, àti gbogbo èèyàn náà. Owó dẹ̀ ní tóun ò bá sí nílé, ó ní ká má ṣe dábàá nǹkan kí nǹkan. Àkọ́kọ́, a dúpẹ́ gidi lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ti ń dá owó sínú àpò Yoruba Nation Global Directorate pé àbùsí ní tolókun. Àpò yín ò ní gbẹ, ọwọ́ yín ò dẹ̀ ní kàn sàlẹ̀ àpò. Gbogbo nǹkan tí ẹ bá dáwọ́lé, Ọlọ́run máa gbà á ní ṣíṣe ni. Àwọn alálẹ̀ náà wá kí gbogbo wa àti ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ ń dá lẹ́yìn. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ wà lọ́kàn wọn láti ṣe náà, tó jẹ́ pé yálà bóyá fún ìdí kan tàbí ìdí míì, nǹkan sáfẹ́rẹ́, Ọlọ́run á pèsè fún wọn. Tó bá wá ti ń pèsè báyìí, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ bá wa nawọ́ sí àpò ẹgbẹ́ yìí, nítorí pé nǹkan púpọ̀ wà tí wọ́n ń ṣe ní ribiribi pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà nílé, àwọn tí wọ́n ń rán níṣẹ́, tá à ń rán níṣẹ́, lọ ṣe báyìí, lọ ṣe gbá. Tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ máa lọ, wọ́n máa fìyàwó àti ọmọ sílẹ̀ ni. So fún gbogbo àsìkò tí wọ́n bá wà tí wọ́n sí lọ́hùn náà, Yoruba Nation Global Directorate náà, ẹgbẹ́ yìí ló máa ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kí àwọn baálé wọn ṣe. So nítorí èdí èyí, à ń rọ̀ wá, à ń bẹ̀ wá, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ bá wa dá sí. Kò ní rẹ̀ wá o, kò dẹ̀ ní rẹ̀ yín. Wọ́n ní kó kàkà kó rẹ̀ mí, máa mú rẹ̀ lọ sódò. Bá ṣe máa ń dé náà, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ bá wa dá sí. Ẹ bá wa fi owó kò dẹ̀ sí iye tó kéré, bìkọ́ wọ́n ní ení tere èjì tere, ó máa ń débì kan. Ìlú tá wà yìí, béèyàn bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣa penny àbí 1 cent kó tó mọ̀, inú já omi yẹn tó bá lọ kà á, tó turn ẹ̀ sí bank, á di owó ńlá. so lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa tọwọ́ bàpò Ọlọ́run á túbọ̀ máa bùkún fún yín wọ́n ní òkè lọ́wọ́ afúnni máa ń gbé so ọwọ́ yín ò ní gbọ̀n sílẹ̀ ọwọ́ yín ò ní kàn sálẹ̀ àpò ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa dá sí a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ṣe ń dá sí náà àwọn barrister wọ́n máa pin account number yẹn àti WhatsApp or all form of payment sórí platform yìí nínú chat forum so gbogbo wa á lè dá sí so ẹ ṣé gan ni o lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ bùkún wa Olúwa á bùkún fún yín lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ ṣé thank you.
ẹ ṣeun
Yes.
a dúpẹ́.
And barrister,
Yeah.
adé orí màmá wa ló kọ́kọ́ fi owó ṣẹ̀ wá lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n ti fi owó.
Adé orí ọ̀kín.
Oh yes, adé orí ọ̀kín. Wọ́n ti fowó sínú àkáǹtì Yorùbá Nation Global Directory. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Thank you very much, Sibo.
Ẹ ṣé o baálé mi.
Thank you so much. Èyí tó kàn ń sìn ni mo máa pe ìyá wa directorate director kan wá fún wa ní ọ̀rọ̀ ìkíni káàbọ̀ sí ìpàdé kí a tó máa bá ìtókù lọ. Princess Ọlámijùlọ.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. I welcome all to this meeting. I greet the royal fathers among us, our highly esteemed fathers and mothers, our sisters, brothers, our children, and indeed the highly dedicated team of the Yoruba Nation Global Directory. Thank you for joining us today. My desire and hope is for today's meeting to be a new dawn in the Yoruba Nation emancipation agitation. Compatriots, our precious Yoruba Nation and the Yoruba emancipation agitators are at a crossroads. Our illustrious and highly patriotic citizens feel their rights have been taken away due to the negative experiences in the last wave of our Yoruba emancipation struggle. Please allow me to remind us of the exhortation given to us on this platform by one of our highly esteemed fathers, Professor Mayowa Odiginde, who taught us that if your people perish, you are dead. Are we going to watch and let our beautiful Yoruba people and Yoruba land go down? I understand the events of the last few years have taught Yoruba people across the world the true nature of many among us who have used the Yoruba Nation emancipation struggle as butter and bread for political expediency, while disguising themselves as our nation's savior. I also understand many true lovers of Yoruba land have fatigued and have given up on the possibility that Yoruba sovereign nation will ever emerge. Nevertheless, being human, we should expect low moments in our emancipation struggle. It is what it is. I feel your agony, disappointment, hopelessness, and the feeling of disarray. It is no good saying that many of you have invested a lot of funds, precious time, and energy in our agitation for a sovereign Yoruba nation, only to be used in a political game and dumped thereafter. Please remember, when the going gets tough, the tough must get going. Please permit me to encourage you with the word of H. Jackson Brown Jr. Let perseverance be your engine and hope your fuel. Moreover, seeing many in other nations at different times in human history have experienced what we are going through, I humbly encourage you to once again stand up for Yoruba nation. Many of you have been asking if the mission is possible. Please let me speak to you with the positive slogan of President Barack Obama. Yes, we can. The mission is possible, and our vision will be realized. It goes without saying that many of you are still struggling to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It is you I should remind of one of the famous quotes of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. My people, we must stand up and defend the Yoruba nation. And not minding the fact that a Yoruba man is presently the president of Nigeria. Some Fulani people are still encroaching on Yoruba ancestral homeland. They are still causing mayhem, and killing of Yoruba people is ongoing in Yoruba land. Are this not enough reason for us to stand up and keep moving the emancipation of the Yoruba nation forward? Let us imagine a time when the time allotted to the Yoruba man as the president will expire. What will happen to us as people? This is why I'm fully persuaded that we must stand up and be resolute in our agitation for a sovereign Yoruba nation, even if it means handing over the baton to the youth. If we truly believe that the Yoruba nation is precious and worth our sacrifices, there is just one option for us to explore, and that is to keep standing for the Yoruba nation until we achieve our inalienable right to self-determination. So I say to you, stand up and be counted. Let posterity judge you right. Let it be said of you and me that we stood for Yoruba nation when it mattered. Odùduwà á gbè wá o, kò ní gbé àwọn ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Èmi Adéọlá Atáyérọ Ọlámijùlọ kò ní jalẹ̀ Yorùbá o, ìwọ ńkọ́? Ẹ ṣé gan ni, over to you, sir.
Unmute yourself, Arista. Unmute yourself.
Sorry, thank you, Princess. Ẹ ṣé gan wá dúpẹ́. Mo ní ọ̀rọ̀ la gbọ́ yẹn o pé ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró fún ìlú wa ní ìgbà tí ó ṣe kókó. Ìyẹn ló máa mú wa lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn panelists wa, àwọn tí wọ́n bá wa ṣe ìjíròrò ní ọ̀sán yìí. Kí ló ń dẹ̀ máa ṣe ìjíròrò lé lórí? A ní standing up for Yoruba nation when it matters. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró fún orílẹ̀-èdè wa ní ìgbà tí ó ṣe kókó. Ìgbà wo gan ló ṣe kókó? Ìsìn ló ṣe kókó, torí pé oríṣiríṣi ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo èyí táwọn Fúlàní ṣe. Kò yẹ ká wò wọ́n nírọ̀mọ́, tó yẹ ká bá àwọn ènìyàn wa sọ̀rọ̀. Tí àwọn àgbàlagbà gẹ́mọ ìsọ̀lẹ̀ kan tó bá sọ pé àwọn ò rí orí ọmọ kékeré tó wọ́ lọ́jà, àwa tí a rí, ẹ jẹ́ ká pe àkíyèsí àwọn àgbàlagbà sí wípé èyí tó ń ṣe yóò dáa, torí pé wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ rí orí ọmọ kékeré kó wọ́, kán má sọ fún ìyá ẹ̀ pé kó ṣe orí ẹ̀ dáadáa. Ètò tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ìlọrin náà, tí àwọn tí wọ́n pera wọn sí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ògo, tí wọ́n pera wọn ní ògo Ìlọrin, tí wọ́n gbé ọmọ Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ wọn, tí wọ́n fi ọlọ́pàá gbé lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ kì í ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n tọ́lọ́pàá lè dá sí, ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ọkùnrin sọ́kùnrin ló yẹ kí wọ́n fi ṣe, kí wọ́n gbé lọ fún civil matter sí ilé ẹjọ́. Tán bá di ilé ẹjọ́ bá dẹ̀ sọ pé lóòótọ́ ó jẹ̀bi, kí ó san owó ìtanràn tó sọ, kì í ṣe pé wọ́n máa fi ọlọ́pàá lọ tì mọ́lé. Tí wọ́n bá jẹ́ ògo, tí wọ́n bá jẹ́ ìmọ́lẹ̀ Ìlọrin ni, kò yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ìdọ̀tí Ìlọrin lèmi kà wọ́n sí gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe rí wọn. Torí ẹ̀, ẹni àkọ́kọ́ tí máa kọ́kọ́ pè láti fún àwọn tí wọ́n máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lénìí ni arákùnrin wa Sam Olúọlá, tí a mọ̀ sí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. You are welcome, sir.
Ó dà ní pé mi máa lọ kọ pin kan tí máa korúkọ mi sí fún yín. Sam Olaolu Ademoye.
Sam Olaolu Ademoye, sorry for that.
Kì í ṣe Sunday o, kì í ṣe Adéyẹmọ o. Kì í ṣe
Sam Ademoye, you are welcome, sir.
Ẹ ṣeun.
Barrister, ìjọba mi highlight wọn.
Okay.
Mi ò rí orúkọ wọn bí. Mo dẹ̀ ń rí látàárọ̀. Ẹ ṣe ẹni kejì tí mo máa pè ní àwọn brother wa, Mr. Onígẹmọ. Mr. Onígẹmọ.
Kú kalẹ̀ o, pọ̀lẹ́.
Ẹ rọra sà, ẹ kú àbọ̀ sórí ètò náà. The last but not the least is our father, the man who reads the minds of nations and individuals, Dr. Oyefule, Dr. B. Oyefule. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
So, ní abala tàdé yìí, màá fẹ́ gbé àgbà ètò fún Barrister Obidengbe kí wọ́n gbé láti bẹ̀.
Thank you very much, Eshegon Barrister. Welcome, I say welcome once again to our panelists. My brother Amotekun. You initially mistake last Sunday. Amotekun is enough. And Eshegon, thank you. Actually, but Yoruba ni alamaje. Our dear Laranfe Alamadu encourage. And my brother, Mr. Onigemo, Eshegon. Eku Ataro, Eku Ifelu, Eku. What can we say for Dr. B. Fule, Abaya Daleo? Thank you very much, and thank you for being a good example of what Yoruba represent. We're not flip-floppers in Yoruba land. We stand for what we know is right against all odds, and your wisdom, your knowledge, and every good thing that you've acquired over many years that you're passing on to us and the new generation has been a blessing, and we believe will continue to be a blessing. And Adura and Peki Imiseli to Marikuma, Yapanilia, Kolomaba, I told you. Thank you so much. Gẹ́gẹ́ Barrister ṣe sọ tí màmá wa táwọn náà lè ṣe sọ, ó ṣe pàtàkì wípé kí a dúró ṣinṣin. Ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn àgbàlagbà wa sọ fún wa wípé tí náà bá ṣọ́, tí ò bá tán láṣọ, ẹ̀jẹ̀ kì í tán lè nǹkan lọ. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ fún wa wípé ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ kì í ṣe oníṣẹ́ nítorí pé ẹni tó bá forí tì í dópin, ọ̀la ò gbàlà. Everything we gathered here to do, and we've been gathering to do, hasn't been about individuals. It has been about our people, Yoruba people at home, and the unborn generation of Yoruba people. We are here to discuss the Yoruba national interest. Every nation within the Committee of Nations within Nigeria have their own national interest. And over a period of time, we've been trying to enunciate what our own ideological positions are. So one of those reasons is the reason we're here again today. Aduro, not to be a flip-flopper. Baba Ogunde ni Aduro gbọ̀ngbọ̀n Aduro tìṣì. Torí tíjì bá fẹ́, látẹ̀gùn fẹ́ tójò rọ̀, ó máa ń gbé àwọn èèyàn lọ, kò ní gbé wa lọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá. Some of the questions we have today in front of me, I'm going to start by calling our brother Amotekun. Keba kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìfọ̀rọ̀jomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Òyìnbó ni a fi kọ́, òyìnbó náà la máa fi bẹ̀rẹ̀. The first question goes like this. What does it mean in a nutshell? What does it mean to stand for a just cause? That's the question to you.
Wow, baba ńlá exam lesson mi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú what is a just cause? I suppose the best way téèyàn lè fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni pé kéèyàn wo ìṣẹ̀dá èèyàn. Why were we really created as individuals? Iṣẹ́ wa is not just pé ká kọ́ máa kọ́ bridges káàkiri, ká máa kọ́ building káàkiri and all of that. There's this cause that is almost divine, which is wípé ká look out fún community wa, ká look out fún society wa, ká look out fún environment wa and all of that. Now, is that a just cause? Yes. Kò sí nǹkan téèyàn fẹ́ ṣe nílé ayé yìí. Kò sí achievement téèyàn fẹ́ ní nílé ayé yìí. Béèyàn bá lọ léèwé téèyàn gba PhD téèyàn di professor, it is to serve your society. Privilege ló jẹ́ fún wọn, òun láti jẹ́ benefit fún ìlú ẹ̀. This is what the whole idea of education is about. To promote your nation socially, politically, economically. Is that not a just cause? Obviously just cause. And èrè wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, so to speak. Because as it is today, gbogbo wa la máa ń ní that sense of pride nígbà tá a bá ń gbọ́ pé a Yoruba person is doing well somewhere in America. Tẹ́ bá dárúkọ máa yìí ṣé Ògúnlèsì lórúkọ ẹ̀?
Ògúnlèsì.
Aha, a máa ń dárúkọ máa yẹn with this sense of pride. Akeem Olajuwon was mentioning with a sense of pride. Tọ́ bá dárúkọ Wesley Snipes, wọ́n ní ara wa ni in a sense, with a sense of pride. Ẹ wá jẹ́ ká wá jókòó ká wá rò ká bá deal pẹ̀lú this just cause, this gracious cause, ká wá ní àwa succeed, ká wá lè amalgamate gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó ń ṣe dáadáa externally, ká kó wọn mọ́ àwọn tó wà internal, kí ìlú wa kó wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní flourish in such a way tó jẹ́ pé for real they are saying maybe the Yoruba people are the giants of Africa or whatever, or the pacesetters, or orúkọ tó bá wọn ni lèèyàn máa dára ẹ̀, àwa la máa decide nǹkan tó máa pè wá, àwọn náà máa wò tó máa judge ẹ̀ pé yes, these guys have come from a just cause and they are now flourishing. So yes, we have a just cause. Yes, we can achieve it. The examination now, the venture, nǹkan tó yẹ kó jẹ́ compulsion once in a way can achieve it.
Thank you.
More people just that question.
Oh yeah, you did. I believe, but I want to give our other panelists an opportunity. Mr. Onigemo, kile Fefi Kumolein, what does it mean to stand for just cause?
Thank you, Barrister. I will say kudos to Amotekun because what he hit there on the head. In make of so more kind of, because well, we're in the world of Google and information superhighway and all those kind of things. So while of Google that just cause, or in other words, justifiable cause, and also grounds for action that are in accord with sufficient reason that can be justified or defended as correct. Kini mean pé action tí àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ take in order láti, achieve their, or attain their goal in the right way. So, I'm not going to Joko, go into, a forum partially debating about what has to be done, what needs to be done. Because unfortunately, to attain a certain goal has been, the road to it has been like a roller coaster ride.
Okay.
Everyone has opinion, and everyone has a right to their opinion. And that's why, argument on all these things is happening. Yeah,
thank you very much. Dr. Yefule, ìbéèrè kejì ó máa wá sọ́dọ̀ yín, and I believe you will do justice to this. And what we're doing here, only because I see people will be accessing our YouTube later to see what transpired today. Ìbéèrè kejì, only what does it take to stand for a just cause against all odds? What does it take to stand for a just cause against all odds? That is what those who are standing, the agitators, what strength of character should they possess to be able to stand against all odds? Over to you, sir.
Eshe, and that's a very good question. Question to most of us, while lying down in our bed, while driving in the car. Look, Oma ba question, the first question, look, self-preservation is the duty of every individual and every group. Whatever it takes to preserve yourself while you are handing minimal damage, minimal harm to others. Minimal harm, minimal damages to others. Ongo, the main cause of what we're talking about. Hello or towards the end, what was that Yoruba word? That key word?
Okay,
repeat that whole question. I'll pick up the one I need.
Okay. I said, what are the strength of characters to be expected from those who will stand for a just cause?
Okay. See, let's see. All right, I'll go from there also. See, strength of character. While your strength of character has to do with minimal damage, minimal harm to others. This is what I mean. If while you're defending yourself, you go ballistic, and vengeance and revenge and kill them all is what you were doing, then one has relegated oneself to the lower evil of humanity. You want to defend yourself, but the ideals you want to look at is the Omoluabi ideal, God-like ideal, where you protect yourself. You're not allowing anybody to come into your space and take advantage of you. But at the same time, when you are hitting them, you hit them with minimal force that will get them out of your space. So, strength of character, ability to sit back and plan one's action in a cool, calm, strategic manner. Low are so very important, and whichever group is able to achieve those will have developed the strength of character, not only among the overall people, but among each individual member of those fighters.
Thank you. Thank you. Amocheku. Yeah, àwọn nǹkan tí Dr. Yefule sọ nísìnyí, mi ò mọ̀ bóyá ní àfikún sí nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ ṣe fẹ́ kí n tún kà.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀ka ẹ ṣeun.
Okay. The second question goes like this. What does it take to stand for a just cause against all odds? That is, what are the strengths of character to be expected in an agitator? Thank you.
Strength of character is one of them. Anybody to have engage just cause, only to assume our position come. And one of them is at your own level, at your own capacity, only the ability to think like a leader, which means obviously you have to have strength of character, only the vision, only the backbone, liver, because all sorts of things will come against you. Shashanua nearby, you develop a level of resilience. Because throughout Jatatinjai, if you don't have that strength of character, you will be unkoma hated, unkoma was confused, disdain mawa. But you have to be able to have that thing, something focus, knowing that, listen, this path I am taking, I am convicted. So there's so many factors so we can ready like we jaja dele. O ma affect the or affect the experience and to affect the share, will affect the share, and to affect marriage, or affect marriage, and to affect the income, and to affect the and to affect the responsibility even in the bedroom. There's all sorts of things going on, but you have to have that focus. You have to have that vision. You have to have only when the top when the
going get tough.
What can on be when the going gets tough? When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And this is the kind of mantra. So Yaki, most of us can. Now there are other things. You have to have integrity, no? You have to have honesty. Integrity and just honesty, law. Honesty to be show jali. Oh, honest. Oh, there's a phone jali. Okay, that's good. Honesty, yeah. But then integrity. Couldn't jali in the first place. So there's so much to encounter and share to require or to define standing up. If it hadn't seen, would that be Kinita on SPS man so who dares win?
Thank you very much. Mr. Nigemo, ìbéèrè kẹta, mo rí pé brother wa Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn wọ́n fara pẹ́ díẹ̀. So wọ́n á fẹ́ kí bá yànnàná ilé. Ìbéèrè kẹta, ó ní, are there prices to pay for standing against all odds? If so, what are they?
Thank you, Barrister.
Thank you.
Of course, in my own opinion, there are always prices to pay for anything or any endeavor in this planet. There is always a price to pay. Tó bá jẹ́ èèyàn tó ń ṣe rere, there's a price to pay for it. Tó bá jẹ́ èèyàn tó ń ṣèkà, there's a price to pay for it. So now, which one do we think is is appropriate? I want to be a leader. There's a price to pay for it. I want to help other people. There's a price to pay for it. I want to be violent. There's a price to pay for it. So there's always a price to pay for any endeavor in this life. Now, it all depends on the character of, the individual. Because àwọn kan wà tẹ́ pé all they want is to just take and take and take and take and not willing to give. If you want, to me, the appropriate thing to buy, you want to give, there's always a price for it. So in terms of myself as a person, we all, integrity. Àwọn tó lè the good leaders, or àwọn tó nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìlú wọn, there will be a price to pay for that. Whether or not they're ready to pay that kind of price is left to be seen. As you allude to.
Ẹ ṣé gan. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé fún Dr. Yefule. Kí ni àwọn prices tó wà nínú pé kéèyàn dìde dúró fún òtítọ́? What are the prices for a just cause? Are there prices to pay? And if there are prices, what are they? Thank you, sir.
Well, I'll go back to the concept of Omoluabi náà ni. You see, kíndé tí mò ń go knock on Omoluabi, tẹ́ bá wo virtue tí Plato sọ ní ancient Greece, ẹ̀rí ni pé in a way Omoluabi náà ló ń try láti describe. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wo even the Christian Bible gan tó come many years after Plato, Omoluabi náà in a way, respect others, be nice, don't lie, don't steal, don't do those. Bí ọmọlúwàbí ni gbogbo náà ni wọ́n define. So I will go to that ọmọlúwàbí láti ní pé, look, the strength that one has to withstand the vicissitude of time, up and down. Look, we humans were not made for hard, lengthy, difficult time. Tí agbára wọ̀ bá break down, immune system wa break down after a while. So, what we really, the energy tí yàn need láti ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kó ṣe when you are standing for the truth. And of course, remember, truth comes in many versions. Your truth will not be my truth. But when, let's just assume a universal truth. For instance, truth, making your mouth overwhelm Yoruba land. Don't come and steal Yoruba land away from us. That's the truth. I'm going to steal it, then they are lying. So the truth of the autonomy of Yoruba land and things that are dear to us, the strength about my need, láti fi ṣe, strength I derive from ọmọlúwàbí ni. Because ọmọlúwàbí ò kàn ní pé kíyàn máa smile, kíyàn nice nìkan. Ó sọ nípa fortitude, ó dẹ̀ sọ nípa pé kíyàn ní làákàyè, ó dẹ̀ sọ ní pé kíyàn wà steadfast. So gbogbo àwọn qualities here are things that we need in our fights and in any fight for that matter. So to take a very long time to accomplish. And ours is a long-term fight. Thank
you very much. The next question goes to you also. It says, in your opinion, is there anyone truly standing for the Yoruba national interest?
In
your opinion, is there?
Yeah, in my opinion, there are thousands of people standing for Yoruba national
interest.
Interest, thank you. Oh, there are thousands, if not millions of people standing for Yoruba national interest. Shigbon, is there somebody that can identify the way we used to do probably about 3, 4, 5 years ago? Unfortunately, event has overtaken a whole lot of these things. So Kosi, that identify key figure, it doesn't exist anymore. However, within groups like ours, like Protectorate, there are groups all over. There are lè mú kan ṣoṣo pé eléyìí nìkan ni o, because autocracy máa wọ̀ nìyẹn. But there are people who have genuine interest of Yoruba land. The platform that we're here, there are many of us, but many of the people here, but so many of us, I'm not counting myself, I'm saying many people here who will fit that category, who will fit that role. But unfortunately, have we identified them and given them that role yet for the whole of Yoruba land? No. So Emilia Rokolara have a vicissitude of a struggle here. It goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. Everything is cyclic. At this point in time, we're at the cyclic point. To answer your question, even though there are millions, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of people who are so interested, who are very much able to, want to, but a single individual, like you asked, is not available right now. Olutu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Brother was Samson Ademoye, aka Amoteko, not Sunday. Can you please make your contribution towards that question?
Question.
Again, in your opinion, is there anyone truly standing for the Yoruba national interest?
There are so many people who are standing up for the Yoruba interest. I mean, for a start, I'll buy Lini. I'll buy company ice cream. I'll be there by me. So that's the good place to start from. And see, when you come back, somebody mashi town hall meeting consistently. So I like to assume there are other people out there who are doing what they can within their own capacity. So problem one at the moment, if we are seeing the opportunity to come together, can form that formidable force. So my pushing together we are marry army. So there are so many people out there. Dear Lion or Polari or vice versa. They say, aha. Ọlọ́run á fún wa ṣe, Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ ká rí bá ti ṣe in such a way jẹ́ pé a ní that cohesive unit tó máa eventually gba batting yẹn láti move forward. But I do believe that there are people out there are units of groups out there who are actually determined láti move in síwájú. And on few occasions, out of appreciation, I've always said Global Directorate is doing a good job. I wish I had the opportunity to share the same thing for Think Yoruba First as a group. While I say that, there are those who are see the negative side of the spectrum, so to speak. So, Kolukalu the best that they can be. And Lagbara long, Providence will bring us together one way or the other. But there are people out there. Ejeka believe, Ejeka kind of like were optimistic we are not alone.
Thank you, Ashe. Mr. Nigemo, history lesson ní ta fẹ́ ṣe yìí. Wọ́n ní ohun tó bá jẹun la fi wé ohun ipò ẹ̀pà kò jọ kó sí ẹ̀ lérí. We are going to ask you to look at the history of human emancipation. Can you name three African leaders that are worthy of being emulated? 3 African leaders. Tó jẹ́ pé àwa táwa ní Yorùbá nation tá ń jàjàgbara ṣe dábàá wò a sọ pé bí ẹni báyìí tó pa àwọn èèyàn sílẹ̀ ni mo ṣe fẹ́ rí. So just give us 3 names so that àwọn tó wà lórí ètò àtàwọn tó tún máa wò later wọ́n á lè rí pé atọ́ka lélẹ́yìí. Maybe they will go check the history of the individuals. 3 people, please.
I can easily name 2 right off back of my head. One is definitely Madiba, Nelson Mandela. This is someone that paid a high price. A question here earlier about price to pay. This is someone that paid a high price for the love of his people, for the love of his country. That's number 1. Number 2, without a doubt, I will say Babawa Obafemi Awolowo. And then there's another man that, another leader, Mobutu Sese Seko. 3 African leaders. Thank you
very much. One after the other, a name will come without any explanation. Just their names again, please.
Just their names.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela, the late sage Obafemi Awolowo, and Mobutu Sese Seko.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And Party Mobutu and Mofipoli were contentious a little bit. So this was
not a little bit, a big bit.
I wouldn't want to look to a man who will send an empty plane to bring a bottle of champagne to Africa. Watch my people are dying. No, Mobutu will not be my leader. But obviously you mentioned it, and I feel it's important that I do mention that for our people to then critically analyze who they follow as a leader. And I just the same question long from Dr. Oyefule.
Yeah.
3 leaders.
3 leaders. Sure, I would greatly agree with Mr. Onigemo. Awolowo should head that list. Of course, Nelson Mandela should be on that list. And Emma Jeka Bagbe Osagefo Nkrumah, I will keep him as a 3rd. And if there's a 4th, I have a 4th I can name. But I'll say 3.
Thank you very much. Moshe mistake to clarify. Timbani Africa, I'm referring to the Black people all over the world. Black leaders, those who have fought for human emancipation, not just basically in the continent of Africa, but all Black across the world. Leaders. Brother Wamoteku, if you want to comment.
Where I mention Marcus Garvey, Thomas Sankara. Then there's a man who is still alive at the moment. See, a lot of people underrate Professor Lumumba. I would like to mention him as well. He's still alive, he's still out there. Unfortunately for praises on. But for me, I think he's doing a good job of enlightening people. Actually,
thank you very much. I just in balance with Dr. Ifule. Ìbéèrè tá a fẹ́ béèrè. Wọ́n ní àgbà ló tó rò lọ. Ọba ló tó rò ẹni fún. It is appropriate that ẹnu àgbà olóbi tí ń bọ̀. So I'm going to ask you this question. Why do people pose as leaders or agitators when they are in actual fact using Yoruba nation emancipation for political gains or, say, pecuniary benefits?
Thank you, Lucio. You just asked me a question of the fundamental issue to denote humankind, mankind. Look, whoever created us, he put something called ego inside of us. And kan wà tó yẹ pé wọ́n ti sublimate ego and ego thrust, ego push here. The vast majority of people have not. And that ego becomes so big. They want to be this, they want to be that, they want to be that, they want to be the leader. Ego gone long course. So I want to bring around forward as leaders. Look, they're usually charismatic, and you can't see a charismatic man till a big ego. Most of them are fake ego, Neil, don't get me wrong. Fake ego. Because of injured psyche as children, people who develop inferiority complex, build up on their ego, can't appear to themselves bigger than they really are. So when you have such individuals, some are very charismatic, charm away, it's very easy for a set of people to be fooled by them. It's very easy. And here, when people are fooled and they push them forward, somebody the pinnacle, it be law, taught in strive law. We will all see that one will maintain what it takes to be there. Awolowo did not ask to be a leader. He was just doing his work as a politician, as a produce farmer, produce buyer, then law student in England, lawyer in Nigeria, and he was doing his work very well. And he got pushed there into leadership of Western region. Of course, not that he didn't want to, he also wanted to be there. But once he got there, he had what it takes or what it took to stay in that position. Towards the end of his life, he will not have fallen the way he did. Because we see, is still stand. Actually, so wrong by $80. And you have that's Awolowo, and you have other leaders whose ego is not so much to who become self-serving. Unless you praise those individuals, it's nothing to them. What can they do? That ego to help under false pretext, they will not be able to perform the way everybody would have wanted them to perform, and even the way they themselves wanted to perform. So ego Hello, please unmute yourself, Ulutu.
Oh, thank you. I would ask our brother, thank you very much, Dr. Ifule, brother Samson, not Sunday, aka Amateko, to please give his view on the same question. why do people pose as leaders or agitators when they are in actual fact using Yoruba nation emancipation for political gains or say pecuniary benefits?
Well, unfortunately, our command take pleasure from ego masturbation, but unfortunately, that is the case. It's unfortunate people like that do not know that is one of the greatest sins they perpetrate on oneself, because the worst sin they ni wípé kò ti ara wípé o fẹ́ máa rob ego ẹ kò wá destroy future àwọn èèyàn. It is a great sin, because out of that kind of charade ni all sorts of human unhappiness ló ti máa jáde. Bá ṣe wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí sí àti dé stage kan ní Yorùbá nation wípé we actually have a body count because of kéèyàn má wà effectual. Actual body count là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀. Because if there's a way for somebody or a people or a party láti avoid the mobility la fẹ́ pè ní ikú ẹlòmíì, but tí wọn ní capacity láti ṣe, wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé àwọn ò ní capacity láti ṣe, wọ́n dẹ̀ rí pé àwọn ò progress, wọ́n dẹ̀ hold on to that position without the thought for the happiness of others, then that is a bigger sin, is the biggest sin they only commit níwájú Ọlọ́run in my own book. So there comes a time when irú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn becomes unforgivable, and when character of strength of character tó máa require wípé kí the next person could take up responsibility tiẹ̀ láti terminate situation bẹ́ẹ̀. Because one person, two people, a group do not have the right to destroy a whole people. And any next set of group, so by the capacity, one the right láti má ṣe. This is the preservation of our people. Anything good.
Thank you very much. Mr. Onigemo, ṣé fẹ́ fi kún àwọn nǹkan tí àwọn aṣíwájú ti sọ?
Not really, but mo kàn fẹ́ correct ara mi pẹ̀lú one of the three answers mo fún yín earlier. Okay. I meant to mention Robert Mugabe, not Mobutu. Yes. Okay. Ẹ ṣé olóòtú.
That's fine. That's okay. So, question tó ń béèrè tó ń deal pẹ̀lú last. Mi ò mọ̀ bóyá ẹ fẹ́ fi kún nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ nípa ẹ̀. Ṣé fẹ́ kí n tún question ẹ̀ ká?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's fine, sir. Why do people pose as leaders or agitators when they are in actual fact using Yoruba nation emancipation for political gains or pecuniary benefits?
Well, that question, Oda Benko answer because it's just for selfish reasons, political gains, selfishness. Àgbá òfìfo tó ń tún yànmùyànmù. Àwọn ní the loudest mouth. Over a period of time, Timothy, look at things and think about things, perspective about other people. Ẹ máa realize pé àwọn tí wọ́n aspire, àwọn tí wọ́n bí Dr. Yefule ṣe sọ nípa Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀ at the late stage. He wasn't even looking to lead any political group or anything. So I realized pé àwọn tí wọ́n aspire to want to lead are the kind of people that we want to actually think about, because àwọn tó ń pariwo tó ń bọ́ síta, I can lead, I have this experience, I have that experience, I know this, I know that. They turn out to be a big disappointment. And the reason is they have their own ulterior motive, which is either to enrich their own pocket or to just look out for themselves. So that's my own perspective. No, thank
you very much. Irú àwọn èèyàn báyìí wọ́n ní olúgbọ́n ṣe tiẹ̀, ó pé ọ̀ràngún ṣe tiẹ̀, òbòkun ṣe tiẹ̀, ọwá ràngún àga ó ṣe tiẹ̀. Many of them, history still remember them. Irú àwọn èèyàn báyìí, báwo lẹ ṣe rò pé ó yẹ kí history rántí wọn? Àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ń gbẹ̀yìn bẹ̀bọ̀jẹ́ tó ń fi ọ̀bẹ yìí, wọ́n fi ń jẹ irun wọn, tó ń fi ń jà lólè. Ẹ rántí nǹkan tí Princess sọ nínú speech ẹ pé Professor said, wípé when your people are perished, you are dead. But they don't care about the survival of our people. They do not care about the preservation of our ancestral homeland. Irú àwọn èèyàn báyìí, tójú bá ṣe pin, jẹ́ kó yẹ ká fi hàn. Báwo lè ṣe fẹ́ kí ìtàn kó rántí wọn?
First of all, I throw challenges to the historians. Unfortunately, I'm not very good in history, but to people, the historians, continue to preserve history because history actually teaches, the next generations and help the next generations, just like it is to us now. Just to make an example, one of the politicians, Nilui, in the United States, at some point he made a good name for himself in one profession that led to him being a politician, and then he went down the hill from there. So I want one of the questions one throw you started well and you end up like this. How do you want history to treat you in your afterlife? His answer was, I don't care, because when I'm dead, I'm gone. But to me, that's pure ignorance, because you have offsprings. Báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ kí history treat àwọn offspring? And this is the problem that most of these people are thinking about. Okay, they are not thinking about the generations that they create, or family or offspring. All they care is them, and once they're dead, they're dead. They really don't care, which is very, very unfortunate. Thank you
very much. Báwo ni ìran tó ń bọ̀ But because some of them will rebrand. Wọ́n fẹ́ pàjá lọ́bọ̀. But báwo lè ṣe rò pé kí ìran tó ń bọ̀ kò ṣe rántí irú àwọn Yorùbá?
Hello, Barrister.
Yes, sir.
Tani, Emi tàbí.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I saw Amotekun looking up and I was getting ready to hear the parade of wisdom coming out of his mouth. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Could you repeat that question one more time for me, please?
Àwọn tí wọ́n pò pé àjìjàgbara àbí das tó jẹ́ pé ulterior motive náà ní báwo ló ṣe yẹ kí ìtàn kó rántí irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀?
Okay, Mama spring up from part of Ngoti Mogboti, Mr. Unigemo saw. Look, there are many concepts of the afterlife. I don't believe in the afterlife. I don't believe in the on a certain date. One day, one lost paradise, a little bit one lost hell. I think there are some people who just don't give a damn about all of that. You a doctor, Mr. Nugemo, he probably is a person who doesn't believe in any afterlife. And let's be realistic. Once you're gone, you're gone. And the exercise will be ongoing after you, whether you're good or not. Does that actually do anything to you or to what you've done before? I don't know. But nǹkan tẹ́mi kọ́ mọ̀ ni pé tí èèyàn bá ṣe tó bá ṣe nǹkan tí ò dáa for the people, and kí dẹ̀ the definition nǹkan tí ò dáa, anything that's based on self-interest, your own ego, ṣé ká gbowó ni, ṣé pé ká ní popularity, ká kán mọ̀ wá. More often than not, intentionally putting one's energy into those things, turn out to be bad. Wait, defining that. Things you do in a selfless way, without even wanting people to know that you did it. That you did it just to make your society, your group, your nation better. More often than not, those are good things. Now, I want to share is based on their own selfishness and their own ego. Describe as what's going to happen to their memory in the future? It goes two ways. Supposing to your future, then there's nothing. But future power, if there's continuity of life, which I believe there probably is, then history may not remember them very well. History may not remember them very well.
Thank you. February, the next question, Brother Amotekun. It goes like this. Once beaten, twice shy. Once beaten, twice shy. Should we encourage our people to embrace those who have deceived them in the Yoruba struggle if they decide to return to the struggle? We've experienced the first wave of the struggle. The struggle has been going on before I was born, but it's getting louder. I'm talking of the recent Yoruba emancipation struggle, which has been going on in the last 5 years. We've seen the first phase of that came to a close. Now we're entering a new phase. Some people, bad antecedents rather, will still come back to push as the best since sliced bread. Should we make a distinction between repentance and being remorseful? How do we encourage our people to approach that?
Baba Bonstein, I saw so many times. We pay one of the biggest tools or weapons, if you like, is education. But Kinto continue with this new line of question. Mafe as related to question Tele. How should people be viewed in the future as a matter of history when we get to that time? Question me, why should we be anticipating history while we're in the present? The problem with that is I don't need to identify Kinikon. Why are we standing aloof to allow bad history to be created now while Ali identify problem? Because whether we like it or not, history will tend to want to accuse a set of people or a person or a group. But I want to call them stand guilty of whatever is the malfeasance is. Because there's this thing, someone saw very catchy by Tony, something along the lines of when things are going wrong, we should not just accuse those who are perpetrating it, but those who stood aside and looked on.
Evil prevails when good people stand aside and do nothing.
So when the time of judgment comes, we too will share in the judgments whichever way it goes. So address question unfortunately, it's gone out of my head.
Oh, sorry, I'll read the question. The question for you is, sorry, I'm just reading it. Once beaten, twice shy. Should we encourage our people to embrace those who have deceived them in this Yoruba nation struggle if they decide to return to the struggle once again? Basically, is that Abala Ikiniti law, new wave, Boya Ferako. Ideas do not die. People will still want to join for whatever reasons. But I want our team on cotton sheet. Ton Colisori Yori, Tatimo, Ton Baton Padawa. How do we encourage our people? Is it such that, okay, let's Febarawaja Ali Jamabeli, but Shutunda Katunja Kontonwe in Abama Benudake and Istorama Ben Falagbafo. How do we encourage our people? Because these are questions they ask you on a daily basis. And what do you think? How do you deal with that?
Well, listen, I found myself again. Mokoko this sort of education. But once beaten, twice shy, Ejeka make one serious distinction. Any society in your power, there's always going to be leaders and there's always going to be followers. And tí o bá mọ ipò ẹ̀, tí o bá mọ iṣẹ́ ló máa make excuse wípé how do we? You are leaders. You solve problems. You eliminate problems. The moment you start sitting down and saying, okay, we've identified this problem, that is the moment you've started a solution. So it's not about once beaten, twice shy. Leaders lead. You cannot be Alano without bulldozer. No. You have to be leaders intellectually. You have to be leaders by vision. You have to be leaders by action. You have to be leaders by delegating. After Koja, honesty, integrity, and all those niceties. Who has it? Who dares? Who wants to win? This is the war. War at Barin is intelligence. And only the intelligent will lead. And when you lead by God's grace, by God's favor, by God's example, because see, people will follow. People are not as bad as we make them out to be. They're not. Somebody good leader, somebody oratoda is only natural. They will follow. So the point now is, who is the leader? Who has the ability to be a leader? Who has the tenacity? Who has the strength? Stand up and be counted. So let's lead our people. Let's not ask ourselves how we're going to lead. We have to solve problems.
Thank you. In the middle of the down question, the first question is the one I want to respond to that, what I can contribute. Yoruba ni Onta Sheleni or Lomadi Lola. Onta Sheleni, Lomadi. We talk about Lubon, Arisa, and all of them. Then number two is this: we learn from history. Our brother Olni Gemo said, and Dr. Fuller also said that leaders emerge not because they call themselves so, because leader is what people call them. And from the history we had, Yorubani Omolini Oyo, a leader is the one that has the solution box, because a leader, a true leader, will not be an autocrat. He will lead by concession. And àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tá a ti gbọ́ tí bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ ṣe, wọ́n ní bàbá ó máa ń jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀. Á take note, ó ti mọ general concession. Even tó bá jẹ́ position wọn, wọ́n á ṣe wàá sọ. And nǹkan tá a dẹ̀ máa ń gbọ́ tí àwọn àgbàlagbà sọ fún wa ni pé tí wọ́n bá fọ̀rọ̀ sí kò bí àgbà, tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ deliver wọn á tún ní ìlú sọ wípé báyìí o. So ẹni tó bá lòun jẹ́ àwádé, with that concession, Tovani, I'm the embodiment of wisdom and knowledge. And you begin to tell people how to do things without carrying your people along. I repeat, autocracy, no my hand of it, is the reason why we ask, how? What is the general opinion? So we need concession on that. Otherwise, we will make the same mistake that those people we may be addressing have made. Maybe some of them don't know, or maybe they did it deliberately because of ego or psychological underdevelopment. But it is important, I think it's pertinent that we ask the question and see what people are saying. Our people have opinion. Opinion matters. I've got any leader, we know we must have referendum. You want to take us out of Nigeria without asking us? Without concession, without no referendum, we made that mistake, but we won't make it again. So it's important that we ask each individual that will be working within Yoruba nation should ask that question. Respond, see brother Dr. Ifule, I know you have some things to say about that, please. Yeah, meeting, sir. Meeting.
No, I really didn't have anything to add.
You don't. All right. Yeah. Mr. Ligamo, anything to add? And we will be going to our last question.
Well, just to say, action speaks louder than words. Got the master in here.
Yeah, thank you. One can see Pastor Phelps. Those who care about what people would think or say about them after death are always people of our integrity who normally leave the world better than they met it. This group of people live a life of sacrifice and think of good of others. In my opinion, anyone who cares less of what happened after they are dead to their people or society should not be trusted with leadership. I personally agree with you, and obviously it's like you've read the last question. I'll put the last question to Mr. Nijamo. How can we instill altruism and put Yoruba national interest into our people's consciousness? I found myself yesterday. There's a scripture that says, if I say I will not speak of you, even the fire burn in my bosom. There's a scripture passage that says that, oh, Jeru, if I say I will not speak of you, the fire burn in my bosom. And Psalm 127, it was written that by the rivers of Babylon there we sat down. The day we remember Zion. And then what also, on those who took us captivity, they demanded the song from us. But how can we begin to sing the Lord's song in a strange land? But look, gbogbo success or anything turn bad abroad. If we bow and if we back with Jerusalem, no best in shape for our oh Jerusalem. If we ever forget you, may the tongue of my mouth cleave to the roof of my mouth, and all that. Such love for one's nation and the altruism nature that got them to work very tirelessly until the attainment of the sovereignty of Jerusalem of Israel in 1948. How can we instill such in our people? Mr. Nigemo.
I mean, the first thing David saw is my very first suggestion of or what I tell people that are close to me or that the number one thing in life to most people who are very valuable is love, and it's not self-love. It's not just love yourself. Although love yourself, you will love other people. Love for humanity in general. And then come all the other intangibles: respect, humility, self-satisfaction, satisfaction. Because Tebawo, one of the atrocities in this lifetime right now is selfishness. People that are really well-to-do. One question is, what do you aspire in life? I mean, you think about some people that are okay, I don't care, I just want to be rich and famous. Or you will hear people say, it's not for me, I just want to be comfortable in life. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo báwọn èèyàn ṣe respond sí irú question báyẹn. I just want to be rich and famous. Rich and famous at the expense of anything or anyone. Ṣé irú àwọn èèyàn báyẹn la fẹ́ wò pé is this the kind of people that we want to look up to? Or people to say, okay, I want to be comfortable and I want to be out there to help out in any way, shape, or form. I would say, just be actions speak louder than words. The people. Motin go off track. Question I'm going off track and am I benefiting because I'm just someone like that. So my thing is the love of people, the love and then also to be able to look at yourself in the mirror, because not gbogbo àwọn tó ń pariwo pé àwọn lè lead normally lead. As a matter of fact, most of them are not leaders. So I would just implore our people to be smart enough to keep the eyes and ears open. Come on, everybody might fall for anybody to back on anything.
Thank you very much. Martin Kokoko from Dr. Ifule, the question is Yoruba nation worth dying for? Is it worth the sacrifices? I need you to be able to explain. Is it worth standing up for Yoruba nation? Is it worth the sacrifices? And if so, how do we instill altruism into our people? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Olutu. Is Nigerian nation, is Yoruba nation worth fighting for, sacrificing for, go to all extent to make sure it occurs? My answer to those questions are yes. How do we do that? I think so for so many years and see àti ìyànjú. Bí a tún gbọ́dọ̀ wò ó pé àwọn tó ti ń ṣe before wa àwọn náà tí níyànjú. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí tiwa níyànjú as fast as possible. But how do we do it? What instrument should we use right now? Láti lè jẹ́ kí that nice, good, beautiful day occur. The only thing tẹ́mi rò pé a ní lọ́wọ́ tá lè lò ni ká máa ṣe awareness. Not limited to our good man, the doctor from Ilorin, Baba Aliyu. Not only limited to his. You know, that time you just gather a group of people and you just start talking to them about Yoruba. That's awareness. When you go to even a secondary school and people, you see some young ones who want to hear words of wisdom from you, you tell them about it. You don't want awareness ni tool tani at this point. Lè gbé bọ́ká lọ́jà. Take over Lagos State Secretariat. We cannot do all those. But awareness. I don't want to use the Jews as an example because they've set themselves up to be very bad people recently. But it took them a long time to get the promised land. Well, I don't know who promised it to them, but which was formerly Palestinian land. It took them many, many years to get it. 1898, Connie Hessel Soro, 1948, Connie ni Awori. So we're talking about over 50 years. And even before Hessel spoke in Europe, nípa Zionist state. I wanted to saw before. We like to join one so next year Jerusalem. See, when two Jews see each other, when they see each other, to matter if kira won, ben kini nkan e ka san I'm going to hey, next year Jerusalem. When it is so from the 16th, from the 17th, 18th century, not just so next year Jerusalem. But it came to fruition in 1948. But the process and if you push it forward, making people more and more aware of Yoruba nation.
So, the conclusion is it is worth sacrifice?
Yes, it surely does.
Yeah. And I'm going to check.
Sorry, can you question? Sorry.
The question is, I think, two. Biologically is still altruism into our people, and indeed, whether the Yoruba nation emancipation is worth the sacrifice. Is it worth it fighting for Yoruba to be emancipated from Nigeria? She struggle is worth it. And if so, how do we instill altruism in our people?
Because they strongly believe we heaven bow and be on low. I'm starting with on my very long what did you do for your people? So from that point of view, now how do we encourage our people into the mode of altruism? And at this stage, we admit but one of the first ones is leading by example. Am I prepared to be altruistic? Yes, I am. Am I behaving thus? Is the next question. She, I want to understand because while at you altruistic, she wants set good example. She wants show more how much integrity money. So these things are meant to be designed in a sense. Seban the opportunity to share lecture. If you just go there and you talk without having some sort of psychological module, more difficult. And it's not something to you fabricate, only to organic. So from this point, Kaban really a big mission I need to mold your work. Then it means that we have to find people who are attuned to the separate kind of factors that need Latin skill in your work. So teaching people to be altruistic, it is a tall order, but it's not impossible. But it has now become a duty. Duty to altruistic. So you have to see it as built into your person. So what we need to do, Sharia Baba around this thing, so I believe I see them as being redundant in the matter of Yoruba nation. Because only expertise here, but I see formally listen, this is your portion. So it's not just it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. Both tools over in the toolbox. Select one.
Thank you very much, Eshego. So I think with that, I'd like to invite you to say your parting words to the Yoruba public. What would be your parting word on standing for Yoruba nation when it matters?
Okay, Shemini Maashe in 2 sentences. Number 1, if you cannot lead me and you cannot follow me, get out of my way. Simple as that. Next one is, I'm not afraid to be wrong. The only thing, Kimali take correction when it's correct.
Thank you very much. Dr. Ifule.
Mama, go back and see your altruism here. and that will be my parting word. There's nobody who's more altruistic than an Omoluwabi. Omoluwabi, by definition, includes a very heavy dose of altruism. We have to go back to our Omoluwabi culture, where one does not, Kini, exact opposite of Omoluwabi. I'm trying to become westernized. When the white folks came to Africa, kí n wọṣọ tó pọ̀ nítorí pé it's hot. So one day, wọ́n ní ká wọṣọ from head to toe àdẹ̀wọ̀. Lẹ́yìn sìn àwọn kí n wọṣọ mọ́ ń sìn. Obìnrin tí ń fẹ́ obìnrin, ọkùnrin tí ń fẹ́ ọkùnrin, wọn kí n wọṣọ. Wọ́n tún fẹ́ ká jẹ́ copycat, ká tún follow wọn. So why don't you stay with the higher ideal? That is your Omoluwabi. So let us try as much as possible to retrieve our Omoluwabi from where we've hidden it and revive it and live it. Olotu.
Thank you very much, Echego. And Mr. Onigemo.
Well, one love for one another. Let's find a way to spread that. That would be my contribution. One love for one another. Let's find a way to spread that.
Eshego, thank you very much. I'm a rimba ibiti omotiwa oye achigo mokote fitaye olo abawa. Barrister, the most where are you? Amawo Abele Abalakiji. Barrister, where are you?
I did hear.
Okay. I don't think Sister Yemisi.
Me or Sister Yemisi that take on.
One soon, she will fly to South Africa today.
Ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi find wọn wá tí ìrìn wọn láti jọ yìí o. We need to find her for not showing up.
Yeah. Wọ́n ṣe dé láti South Africa. But
South Africa, long.
Yeah.
Okay. Bóyá kẹ́kúnkún handle question and answers.
Okay, thank you. And bá ṣe máa ṣe níbí yìí, àwa nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn èèyàn wa, the respect wọn, I believe pé wọn kì í ṣe rédíò àsọ̀rọ̀mágbèsì. This is a dialogue, not a monologue section that we're going into. Eshego, it's been said that the silent observers are the best judges. You formed an opinion, you have things to say over the duration of this meeting. And our policy is for you. If you have any opinion or advice, to please put it through the chat room. And if you have any question, we don't allow more than one question per person. Perhaps you have two questions if you can combine them in less than 60 minutes so that we can put it through to the panelist and perhaps the secretary of the Yoruba Nation Global Directory. And we want to start by asking you to please raise up your hands and we'll call you in order of you doing that. So, ẹni tó bá ní ìbéèrè tó fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ nawọ́ sókè. Ọwọ́ ẹ̀rọ ni o, ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Tẹ́ bá lè tan fídíò yìí, we would appreciate that. Princess Aderonke Obia, I recognize your presence. God bless you and strengthen you and the entire family. And ẹ jọ̀ọ́, anybody tó bá ní ìbéèrè, ẹ nawọ́ sókè. Tí o bá sẹ́ni tó ní ìbéèrè, a máa mú ìpàdé wá sí òpin. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹnikẹ́ni, no question stupid. There's a question tó jẹ́ question ọ̀pọ̀ nù. Torí wọ́n ní odò tá a bá fojú di, ó máa ń gbé ní lọ. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, question tẹ́ bá ní tẹ́ fi pé bóyá kí àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n kí wọ́n yànnàná ẹ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ dárúkọ pé ẹ sọ jáde. Ẹ nawọ́ sókè kí ẹ lè bẹ̀rẹ̀. Ó dàbí ẹni pé kò sí ẹnikẹ́ni. Barrister Odomosu. Over to you.
Okay. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ní sùúrù fún ìṣẹ́jú pínpín ní tó bá dé sí ẹni tó ní question láti béèrè àbí contribution láti fún wa. Then a lọ sí abala kan tó kù. Well, ẹ jẹ́ kí n pe fortunately àwọn náà ni ó yẹ kán fún wa ní kán bá wa kí àwọn èèyàn wa pé wọ́n wá ṣùgbọ́n bóyá màá pe Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Kọ́lá Thomas kán bá wa ṣe thank you fún àwọn èèyàn wa tí wọ́n wá sí ìpàdé lónìí ká tó máa darí ètò wá sí òpin. Mr. Thomas, are you there? Mr. Thomas. Barrister, ṣé ẹ fún wa ní vote of thanks? Ó dà pé Mr. Thomas ò sí around.
Oh, sí around. Okay. Ẹ ṣé gan-an, wọ́n ní ọpẹ́ olóore àdáàdá ni o. We don't need to say that we love and we appreciate everybody who has been a pillar of support to the Yoruba Nation Directorate, and we acknowledge the fact that without you, there isn't us. So, you are junior private, you know, Mauricio, Amarira Wabao, and Iboko Eledumare Lorishe Bokowa, Onapata, Achille, Atoloni Kuni Baje, and one any to back to Chessile to get an Eleni Oloroba Loma Biche, Oloroba, Kuni, Palalei, Ikokonino Wa, Abawa Sheikh Odudua, to die in Yoruba, Sile. Àti àgbààgbà àwọn àgbààgbà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ti jà kìràkìtà wípé kí ìmọ̀ wa kó lè ṣọ̀kan, kí ìlú wa kó má di oko ẹrú, kò ní jẹ́ kí iṣẹ́ gbogbo wa, iṣẹ́ yìí kó jẹ́ àṣedànù. Ọlọ́run á san wá ní ẹ̀san rere, ojú òde ní tiwa, àṣàgbára wa dọ̀tun. Thank you very much. Àlàáfíà la máa gba ilé wa tá a fi sílẹ̀ o. And for wákàtí tá a fi sílẹ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run fi dìbò rẹ̀ ó tún di ọjọ́ mi ọjọ́ rẹ̀. Thank you very much. God bless you. Ẹ ṣé.
Yeah, that anthem.
Okay. Okay.
Finn and Maya found a great flight deal with price alerts. Because